Welcome to Star Transmissions from Hawaii. My name is Tom Lesher, and my website is newparadigmastrology.com. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, and I want to be talking about a little bit of the changes that are coming in the next week. These changes are huge, big, magnificent. There's a number of conditions going on right now that will be causing a tremendous amount of shifting, a tremendous amount of opening. We have a large shift going with the planet Uranus has already transited from Pisces into Aries as of last May 27th. This week then coming up, we have Jupiter moving into the sign of Aries to join with Uranus. We have Mars moving from the sign of Leo into the sign of Virgo. We just had Chiron move from from Aquarius into Pisces. We're having a huge shift, and much of this is going from water and earth to air and fire. So we are moving into a situation, a condition of the yin, earth, water, receptive, inward, listening, slow, to fire and air, the yang, outward, solar power energy that is radiating, acting, and moving and shaking. And this just makes me really focus. Today's talk I want to really make on breathing. This is all about breathing. We have the in-breath, which is like from the new moon to the full moon, from the winter solstice to the summer solstice. It's a gathering in of energy. We fill ourselves up. We draw in at the full moon, at the summer solstice, which is also coming up. Yes? At the midpoint of our lives, then it is time to exhale. Now, number one, these days, no one is breathing deeply enough. We can breathe twice the amount of oxygen into our bodies. Yoga teaches us that moving that air into the bloodstream, into our muscles, into our bodies is so healthy. Then there is the exhale, and that exhale needs to be complete. It needs to be whole. We want to get all the CO2 out of the lungs. We want to release and let go of all the old crap, the old garbage, the old poison toxins of the past. And this is the point in the cycle where we are now, particularly with Jupiter and Uranus. Uranus was last crossing from Pisces into Aries in 1927, 1928, right before the great stock market crash in 1929. This is an 84, 85-year cycle. It's being joined by Jupiter, a 12-year cycle. This going through Pisces for the last year. Uranus in the last sign of the zodiac, Pisces, for the last 7 years. This really indicates a time of closure. This is a time of we're at the bottom of the breath. This is a time where, and you can do this physically. You can do this right now. You can do this after you listen to this video. You can just shut down, close the windows, close the doors, close your eyes, sit in a position, do long, deep breathing, and pay attention to your breath. And come to that point where it's very slow and very deep, and you completely empty your lungs. And when you get to that point, you will realize, you will feel a certain terror. You will realize a certain fear, an emptiness, the fear of the end. The more you push out And the more you can stay with the breath held out and empty, the more you will contact some of the deepest underlying issues, underlying feelings, underlying attitudes, beliefs, past conditionings. All of this comes up to be released, to be let go. Now, Jupiter and Uranus both go retrograde. They're in Aries, they go back into Pisces. They conjunct again in September. Then they go direct. They come back into Aries. Jupiter comes back into Aries in January. Uranus doesn't come back into Aries until next March. Okay? This is really a 9-month process. And I know some astrologers and some of the stuff out there is saying, oh, Jupiter conjunct Uranus in Aries. Start, jump, go. Unpredictable expansion, and let's blow out all the doors, and the gates are open, and the race has begun. This is, I encourage you, particularly with the Saturn opposition in Libra, go slow. This is a time to be patient. This is a time of testing your threshold. This is a time of reflecting, of deepening. And yes, it is taking in the new. Uranus is opening the third eye, having the new awareness, sensing new potential, new possibility. I encourage you to keep it on the highest levels. To imagine, to envision, to feel, but mostly to purge, to purify. Pisces and Virgo is the axis of initiation. And every initiation requires a death-resurrection process. And this death-resurrection process, right now we are in this descent into nothingness. And the more we can go into that nothingness, into that emptiness, and experience a unique element, aspect, spiritual essence within ourselves, the greater will be our vision, the greater will be our potential, and the greater will be the changes that we initiate, particularly in the spring of 2011, the winter and spring of 2011, when we are again pulling in. So I encourage you during this time to not be acting prematurely, to not be jumping the gun as much as you may be tempted, or you have the idea, you have the vision, and you want to go. I'm saying to listen, and to feel, and to plan, and to relax, and to not attach to a future outcome, but detach from past conditioning. Thank you for listening. And again, that is www.newparadigmastrology.com. I'm Tom Lesher. Have a beautiful day.